Look, I am about to tell you something that sounds completely backwards, something that might make you think I have lost my mind. But stay with me, because what I am about to reveal explains why she is thinking about that guy at 2 in the morning, and not about you. By the end of this video, you will understand the one thing he did that you were probably too afraid to try. Most men believe they need to stay constantly on her mind by texting all day, calling often, or showing up everywhere. She is. They assume that if they remain visible enough, if they just keep proving their interest, she will eventually fall for them. It feels logical, it feels safe, it feels right. But what actually happens is very different. She begins to see you as predictable, safe in a boring way, and ultimately forgettable. The worst part is that you become the guy she texts when she is bored. Yes. Not the man she lies awake thinking about at night. Now I am going to share something that may sound harsh and uncomfortable, but by the time you fully understand it, you will. See why it is not cruel at all. In fact, it is one of the most honest and powerful shifts you can make. There is a psychological trigger so strong that when activated, she will not even realize why she cannot stop thinking about you. And here's the surprising truth. The less unnecessary effort you give, the more space you create for her mind to wander toward you. It sounds impossible, but human psychology works in ways that logic does not always predict.
By the end of this,
You will clearly understand what makes a woman lose sleep over a man, and how to become that man without pretending, manipulating, or playing childish games. The goal is not to become someone else. The goal is to refine who you already are and present it with strength and restraint. Because once you master this, you will not just be another contact in her phone. You will be the man she cannot get out of her head. Before we go further, you need to recognize the biggest mistake most men make. It feels natural, which is exactly why it is dangerous. Imagine you meet a woman you genuinely like. The chemistry feels real. You are excited. So you do what seems right. You send her a good morning text. You check in during the day. You make sure she knows you are interested. You believe you are showing consistency and effort. But then something shifts. Her replies become shorter. The enthusiasm fades. The spark you felt begins to disappear. You feel confused because you did everything you thought you were supposed to do. Here is the uncomfortable truth. When you constantly initiate and over-provide attention before she has invested emotionally, you remove the tension that fuels attraction. You give her emotional closure before curiosity has had the chance to grow. Think about the last series. You watched late at night, stayed up because each episode ended with uncertainty. That tension kept you hooked. But once the show ended and every question was answered, you moved on. There was nothing left to anticipate. That is exactly what happens when you over-communicate too soon. You give away the entire experience at once. There are no pauses, no mystery, no room for her imagination. Imagination is where desire grows. Women are often drawn to emotional momentum, not immediate emotional satisfaction. When everything is certain and predictable, the brain stops chasing. Curiosity fades when there is nothing left to solve. This does not mean you ignore her. It means you create emotional space, not manipulation, not coldness. Strategic absence that reflects a life that does not revolve around her. The key difference is authenticity. If you pull back but spend the entire time staring at your phone waiting for her message, you have already lost the frame. This only works when you are genuinely focused on building something meaningful in your own life. Your purpose, your fitness, your skills, your social world. When you text, make it count. Spark emotion, spark laughter, spark curiosity. Then leave the conversation while it is still alive. Do not drag it until it becomes dull. A powerful interaction ends at its peak, not after it dies. Unpredictability also plays a role, but in a grounded way. If she texts at night and you are busy, respond later when it makes sense. Not to create artificial scarcity, but because you truly had priorities. If she wants to meet and you are unavailable, it should be because you are living fully, not because you are trying to manufacture distance. When you combine limited availability with intense presence, something powerful happens. When you are with her, you are fully there. No distractions, no divided attention. deep eye contact, genuine listening. That contrast between absence and powerful presence creates impact. Her mind fills in the gaps during your absence. Another overlooked dynamic is healthy disagreement. Many men believe constant agreement creates harmony. In reality, attraction often requires polarity. Respectful disagreement shows confidence and individuality. It communicates that you have your own thoughts and standards. The key is curiosity, not criticism. When you express a different perspective calmly, you show emotional strength. You demonstrate that you value authenticity over approval. That depth makes you memorable. Shared experiences amplify everything. Unique moments bond people in ways routine dinners cannot. Deep conversations, spontaneous adventures, meaningful discussions about fears and dreams create emotional anchors. These are memories tied specifically to you. When you introduce future possibilities without pressure, you subtly place yourself in her imagination. Mentioning ideas like visiting a new place or sharing something meaningful later creates open loops in her mind. Open loops demand closure, and the brain naturally revisits them. Timing matters. If you step back, give it real space. Use that time to genuinely improve yourself. Growth is magnetic. When you reappear more centered and confident, the contrast speaks louder than words. If she was interested, curiosity will resurface. If she was not, you gain clarity and save time. That clarity is valuable. The bigger picture is this: attraction is rarely logical. It is emotional and psychological. People value what feels earned. They think about what feels uncertain. They remember what made them feel something unique.
Always.
It is not about manipulation. It is about becoming a man with purpose, boundaries, and presence. When you stop chasing validation and start building a compelling life, you naturally create intrigue. The objective is not to force someone to think about you. It is to become someone worth thinking about. When you internalize that mindset, everything changes.